Hey guys, welcome back to Mindset Thursday. Well, guess what I'm craving today?
What are you craving today?
I'm craving a cool habit.
A cool habit.
Yeah. Now, we're going to talk about craving. So, craving inside of our habit loop.
Yeah.
So, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, so guys, if you remember, a while ago, Jason drew a nice picture on a board that was what is called the habit loop.
Yeah.
And if you have ever read The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, definitely pick that up, you'll recognize this. But what it is basically you have a cue, and then you have a routine, and then you get the reward from that routine, and then it recirculates, right? And what I want to talk about specifically today is the reason that habit perpetuates is that you have a craving for something that reminds you to have your cue, that makes you do your routine, that then gives you your reward. Now, reward is an interesting subject in and of itself.
Yeah.
It can be good or bad, right? It's always going to feel good, but it might be a bad reward in the moment. So you think about it like smoking cigarettes is the most obvious choice of this. You get a cue, maybe you got in the habit of having a cigarette after dinner, and so you finish your meal, you clean up, and then that's your cue, like, oh, I just cleaned up and I'm settling down, it's time for a cigarette. And then the routine is to light up, and then your reward is the hit of nicotine to your brain, right? So there's like your loop going on. But you need to understand what it is that you're craving before you can really break those bad habits.
Yes.
Or what you should be looking forward to craving for a good habit.
I think that's important. Just what are you looking forward to? So, go ahead.
So, like, if you think about it this way, even let's take something a little bit less. I think most people know smoking is bad for them, but let's think about it from even using healthy things, right? So I've heard this story before of, okay, I finished dinner and then I got into the habit of having a Greek yogurt parfait maybe afterward, and it's like, you know, Greek yogurt and it's some berries and maybe it's some oats or some little bit of granola on there, just some nice little like crunchy texture. And there's nothing inside of there that's really bad for you. You have good protein from your yogurt plus probiotics. Yeah. You've got fruit, which is great for a whole host of reasons. And then you might have a little bit of carbohydrate from like some raw oats, which are great for whole grains and satiety and fiber and all these things. But what happens is you start to cue up that reward loop of I'm looking for that sweetness, I'm looking for that end hit. And you'll eat a full dinner and be totally good on your calories for the day, be totally good on your protein, you'll have all the things that you need. And then what happens is you'll actually get an actual hunger signal. Like your body will cue you that you are hungry, and you will get like, your stomach will growl and you'll be like, man, I must still be hungry. And then you eat that thing. And then you're like, okay, now I feel better. And what happens is you do that over time and you're always looking for it all the time. So one of the best ways to do this is to look for something else. So one of the ways that you can break these are to instead of trying to like cold turkey quit, think about replacing that habit at the same time. So you get your cue, you finish dinner, you've cleaned up, you're like, oh, I'm looking for my Greek yogurt parfait. Well, instead of going to have your Greek yogurt, maybe you fill it in with something else. So when you get that cue, go read a book. Go brush your teeth, because you probably won't want Greek yogurt and fruit if your mouth tastes like mint, right? Go and do some stretching. Maybe have like a ramwad or do some yoga. Maybe just spend some time with your family and just hang out, watch a movie with them. Do something that's more like connection and try to break that habit loop. So now when you feel that cue, you do something else, and then your reward is something different than sweetness and chewing and all the things that come with food.
And that's usually what it comes. It's the habit of chewing. Sometimes is what it comes down to. So something that's simple, like maybe pop a mint in your mouth, like a spearmint, like something that's not so sweet. I go for that spearmint or peppermint, or even a piece of gum. So that the act of chewing will actually even help that in terms of that cue in your head. So good, awesome guys. Well, that completes our mindset tip for today, Thursday. We will come to you next week with another mindset tip. If you have any questions or comments, put it in the comment section below the video. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Have an awesome weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.